Hi FlossTube, I'm Jane.
I'm Amelia.
And we're here to talk about our stitching for the months of January and February. So we missed doing a video at the end of January. The last weekend in January was Australia Day and we actually went away camping, which was a lot of fun. We always like to go camping as a family. And the weather was fantastic. It was beautiful and hot. We were camping by the beach, so we got to go swimming every day, and it was just really relaxing. I took my cross stitch with me, got some stitching done as well, but mostly it was just nice to have some family time before the kids went back to school. So after the camping trip, I think it was a long weekend anyway because of Australia Day, and then the kids had another day off, so I took that day off as well, and then it was back to school, and of course, you know, that's always a busy time, a busy start to the year. So I decided to skip the January update and just keep on stitching and get back into routine from February onwards. So here we are. So we'll start with our usual routine where I show one of my previous finishes. I am running out of previous finishes to show because I have given quite a few of my cross stitches away to
Family members.
Yeah, family and friends. So what I thought I might do is see if I can find some pictures of those and somehow figure out how to insert those into the video at some stage when I do run out of ones to show you. But I do have one here. This was one that I got in 2001, and it was a kit. It's the Beatrix Potter alphabet. So my husband, or we were living together at the time, we weren't married, but he was going away. I used to go away a lot for work for months and months at a time. So I had moved to Sydney so that we could be together, and I think I'd been here like a month or two, and then he was getting shipped away. So he brought me this to do while he was away, and so I made a good start on it then, but of course, you know, I was studying at the time, and then not long after that we were engaged and we were getting married and then had kids, so it kind of got put on the back burner for a while. And then when I was pregnant with my first child, I started it up again and got a bit done, and then of course the baby came and got very busy with him, and then things started to settle down, so I started doing it again, and I was pregnant with Amelia.
Yeah, that's me.
And then she came along and I got busy with having 2 children, so it got put away again. And it was only I think in about 2013 that I pulled it back out again and went, okay, I am going to get this done. And I set myself up a schedule, and it was the only thing I worked on for quite some time, and I finished it in April 2014. So,
and when me and Ethan were little, we were so fighty, like, so I broke something in like IKEA, so I opened a cupboard and broke something, and then Ethan,
they were a handful when they were little.
yes.
Anyway, as all kids are, but they're pretty good. So here is the finished piece. It has been hanging in Amelia's room ever since. Yeah. So I might just, it's big.
Very big, but it fits.
Imagine.
Fits perfectly.
So I'll try and, oh gosh, it's so heavy. I'll try
I can help if you want.
Bring it a bit closer. So I was working on doing 1 letter every month. That was my schedule.
Because the letters are pretty big. Look at them when I see you need a lot of that same green. Probably about like 20 packets.
Thank you. Heavy, isn't it?
It's light.
So that
is the previous finish she's done from me.
Yes, and that really got me back into cross stitching. In the year, well, I suppose I was working 4 days a week when the kids were little, and you know, my job's not an easy job. It's a busy job and can be quite stressful at times, and some days I have to work quite long hours. So I really came to know how calming and relaxing cross stitch could be at that point of time in my life. And pretty much since completing that piece, I've probably stitched all the time. And I love that piece. I think it's one of my favorites. I showed the sampler last month and talked about how it's one of my favorites too, but this one means a lot. I've got a lot of memories of stitching it, of when the kids were little, and I think the colours in it are fantastic. There's a, you know, all the shading is quite...
And how the animals are like doing something.
Yeah, so that's that previous finish. So now I'll talk about what I've been working on for January, Feb. For some reason I don't feel like I had a very productive January, but anyway. We were away for part of it, and then we had our camping trip, but I did continue on with my Hawk Run Hollow. So in January I finished the 3rd block.
They would end something.
Envy. They would envy our delight.
Envy our delight.
And then I'm currently working on the 4th block there of the
Just there. She's almost finished. She just needs to do a bit more of it there in the night sky.
So I should finish that today.
Yeah, and maybe in the next video she probably would have got that piece finished and started the next block up here somewhere.
And I even ironed it. I hate ironing, but I'm sick of showing you my crinkly work, so I ran the iron over it just quickly before we started, for once.
Once in a lifetime.
That's my one thing I hate, one piece of housework or chores that I don't like doing is ironing. So again...
And there's a lot of snakes in each picture.
There are a lot of snakes. This is a really fantastic piece to stitch on. I still love every single stitch I'm putting in it. Yeah, I love it. In the last 2 blocks I haven't swapped out any of the colours. I've just used the called for colours on those 2 blocks. And so the next block I'll start in March, which is here. Amelia, you might like to show... I'll pass it, it's okay.
Okay. The next pattern.
Yeah.
That she's gonna do. So she's gonna do that top one. Probably.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna do this one.
Oh, that big one.
Yeah, but I might only do half. So I'm planning on starting the middle block.
Because, and it's very big, and it's pretty much the main picture in the whole thing, from like the whole picture.
Yeah, so that's the plan, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, you know, February's a short month, so you have a few less days of stitching time. So it's good to be going back into March, where I'll have a full 31 days, so I should get a good amount of stitching done. So that is my progress on Hawk Run Hollow, as well as my plan for next month on that piece. I then, sorry, I feel like I'm getting a cold.
Let's hope she doesn't.
Yes, let's hope I don't.
Because then we might not be able to do it next month's video.
Okay, so...
But we probably should.
I then had a new start. And there's a reason for that, which I might actually talk about it first. So when I was away camping, I took Frosty Forest with me, because I'm so obsessed with stitching on Hawk Run Hollow that I'm not actually stitching on anything else. So I thought, you know what, take Frosty Forest away with you camping, get the next block done, and then you can go back to Hawk Run Hollow. And I was sitting outside in the beautiful sun and got out my Frosty Forest, which I had, I was working on this block here, And I had finished the border here, and I had done, there's all bits of snow up here. I had done all of that, but when I was sitting out in the sunlight, I realized I had used a different color white, and it really stood out. So I normally sit here when I'm stitching, and I've got this light overhead, but obviously it didn't, you know, because I'm stitching at night, I guess, and I couldn't tell the difference between the white. But as soon as I pulled this out of my bag in the sunlight, in the daylight, and started stitching, I realized, oh my goodness, that is like completely different. I think I'd used B5200, and all the rest of the whole thing was done in DMC white. So it was a huge difference. It looked ridiculous. So what did I do on Frosty Forest? I unpicked. And then I went through all my DMCs, and I have no more white. So I kind of sat there going, because I've got heaps of B5200, so I'm kind of going, do I actually unpick all the white and restitch it in B5200? And then I just looked at it and went, there is no way I am unstitching all that white. So I was really annoyed, and basically Frosty Forest got put away and did not come back out, and I did not go to any stores to pick up some white, and my husband even offered to pop in at lunch and get me the white that I needed. I just said nope. I've had enough of this one for now. So poor old Frosty Forest got put aside. And
for a while, but she will start stitching.
I will have to get back out, because I do love it, and I'm just, yeah, it's frustrating when something like that happens, and
fabulous.
I sat there having to frog and instead of stitching. So luckily I took Hawk Run Hollow away with me too, which was quite funny actually, because my hubby said, if you take Hawk Run Hollow, then that's what you'll end up stitching. I said, no, I will 100% finish that block, and then I'll switch to Hawk Run Hollow. And he said, just don't take Hawk Run Hollow, you don't need to. Start the next block of Frosty Forest. And I'm so glad I took Hawk Run Hollow, because I did unpick. I thought, definitely make sure you unpick your mistake. But because I didn't have the white, and then I just didn't really want to keep going on it, so I've got to have my Hawk Run Hollow. I've also started another one. You want to hold this one up for me, sweetie?
Yeah. It is been at Oxford Mill.
And who's it by?
Little House Needleworks, Counted Cross Stitch Designs, and
yeah, just turn it around and show the viewers.
There's a little fox there, and one of the, I think that red one's the male.
Yeah. So this is what I've done so far. So I've almost finished the mill, and partway through the tree, and then there's another big tree hanging over the mill, as you can see. So I'm probably where the R is, like the capital R in river, that's pretty much the halfway point of the piece. So I'm definitely past, you know, I'm almost halfway through this piece. I've got to carry the stream back along the bottom and finish off this tree, and there's a top border, bottom border, and a little fence down here. So I'm probably a quarter of the way through this entire piece. I'm hoping in the next month that I will get halfway through this piece. I love stitching on it. I am stitching this one on 36 count Weeks Dye Works parchment. It was called for 30 count cocoa, but as I've mentioned before, it's not always easy to get the linen in Australia. You've got to order it from the US usually to get what you want. So I am just trying to use what I do have. So yeah, I love it. Can't wait to start stitching the fox because it's my favourite animal.
Oh, I don't like those foxes.
And I'm keen to do any stitching where there's a fox.
I'm not keen to doing that.
So my plan for March is
this.
to do the next block of Hawk Run Hollow to get halfway through the Inn at Fox River Mill, and then hopefully we'll see how we go. I might make a start on this one. Do you want to hold that one up for me, sweet?
This one is
Come around this way.
this little cushion with a house and some 2 sheep in the snow lake.
Yeah, so it's the Farmhouse Christmas series that I want to do like this, do the individual little ornaments. So
on a tree or something.
yeah, I've brought a little tree that I would hang these on come Christmas time. So I don't think that would take too long to stitch up. So I'm hoping to get that first block at least, well, certainly started, but hopefully finished in the month of March. And that's probably all I'll get done because of work. It just takes up a lot of time. And then I did have a purchase in January, and that was this one.
Matter's choice.
Yeah.
Not really that colourful.
No, so it's a monochromatic piece.
The threads at the
By Carriage House Samplings. Can't wait to start it. I've got some 40 count fabric that I'll probably use for this, and I've brought these threads, which were the Gentle Art Midnight. I'm going to try using those. They've got a nice variation in them. I thought this would look kind of cool in red as well, like a nice red, but I'm going to do the blue. And you can also do, it's not a very dark picture, but you can do the opposite as well, where you know you're stitching the opposite to there. So maybe that would look cool to do that either in the same colour and have them side by side, or a different colour. I seem to be on a bit of a Kathy Barrick or a Carriage House Samplings kick at the moment, ever since I've started that Hawk Run Hollow. But yeah, I've got a couple of other of her designs, and I'd really love to do Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow and the Village of Hawk Run Hollow. So I've got all these big ideas of what I want to do.
Hawk Run Hollow thing.
Yeah. And oh, I saw Plum Street Samplers have released some images of what they're bringing to the Nashville market, and I've the animal stacks, which I've always wanted to do those as well. They've released the fox one. I was so excited because I love the foxes, so 100% going to do those now, and I think I will do them as a single piece and probably like a long framed piece. Yeah, so I'm keen to buy those. I've seen quite a few people stitching the Christmas Garden by Blackbird Designs. I'd love to do that. Love Never Fails by Barbara Anna. That actual verse we had in our wedding, so I'd really like to stitch that one. But I kind of have to be realistic, because how many am I able to do and I've probably already got enough to last me for 4 or 5 years. But I don't know, I just keep seeing all what you guys are stitching, or what people, you know, what designers are releasing, and I love them. So I don't know, we'll see how this year goes. I'm hoping to kind of, you know, I definitely want to finish that big Hawk Run Hollow, and I am generally I'm typically you know, do try and just stitch on one thing at a time, but because I've brought so much now, I am trying to...
She just can't, she just does a stitching at one stitching, and then she's trying to do one stitching, finish that, and then do another one, but she just swaps every night.
I do swap. Not every night, but
well,
probably.
Most nights.
Yeah. So, but it's good to swap it out a little, and it gives me something different to show you guys as well. That's my excuse. So.
And so you can, like, to make more of what a pattern that you're doing that is not that done, but another one is, so.
Yeah, swap it around. So always like to have a big one on the go, and then a few little ones in between.
Because the big ones will take longer, but the little ones will take shorter, which means you will do that one.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about something you've been doing?
Oh yes, I do.
Where has it gone?
Oh, it's here.
Oh.
So it's a timber cross stitch kit with an owl. If you look on the back there, if you get there, you can do it in love hearts and all that. So this is what I've done so far on it.
I'm getting her into cross stitch.
But I do more long stitch.
So it's a little wooden owl with holes all pre-cut into it.
And it comes with thread, so you don't have to buy them.
Yeah, so it comes with all the colours, and
I could have started.
You can. It's quite good. It's got all different shapes, all different ways that you could
put into it.
Yeah. So
like you can do alphabet.
I don't think it matters to kind of show, but I think you were going to do the rainbow one. So just there, like all different things, or if you wanted to stitch your initial, it's got like an alphabet on how you can stitch your initials. So it's got a pattern she can follow. And
I could have used these other colours.
All these colours.
But I chose the dark and light green. Yeah, there. And there, so.
Do you want to show your stitches? See how neat your stitches, show them how neat your stitches are?
So she's been helping me do it. It's meant to be a necklace, so it comes with a owl formed piece where you stick it on the back like that, and you can see you can see different colors there, but if you put that there, you can see it's pink on the back. It doesn't have all the details to it in the back, so
it covers up all the back of your work.
Yeah.
And then it's got, you can make it into a necklace.
Or you could put the string on, put a hook on where you can hook it onto your bag.
What do you think you'll use it for?
No.
You're not sure yet? Wait till it's finished?
Yeah, wait until I see what I've done. And it comes also, I don't think it comes with a needle, but I think it did, but it wasn't the right one to use. So it's a pretty easy thing for first stitching case. And it says what it includes in the back.
That's okay, you've already shown all that.
Yeah, and it has a lot of different threads to use, but then we think I'm doing the rainbow one.
And there's all different ones you can buy. So you can buy
a heart, a flower, a circle, an oval, and a babushka.
Yeah. So if she decides she likes this,
finishes it.
maybe you can do another one.
or if we find, like, let's say we go wherever, somehow we found this in my craft container. Well, not a container technically, just in a craft box where all these books are in the top. And
so what's your plans for the month of March? What do you think you might like to work on?
Like, I might want to might work on doing the card thing with the cross stitch in the card. And might do a bit more of this, and I might do that long stitch I'm good at doing.
Very good. So yeah, I think long stitch is quite
easier for me.
A good thing to start
because
kids on, because it is a little easier and just gets them used to
putting the thread through.
Very good.
The holes.
So yeah, that's I think about all we've got to talk about today.
This kit has big holes so it's easier to know.
It is. That's good, isn't it?
For a beginner's cross stitch for kits.
Soon she'll be doing big samplers, won't you?
Maybe.
I'd love it if you did.
What if I did that?
That would be amazing.
In 1 second.
So I think that's all we've got time for at the moment. We are coming out of our summer. It's been a really long and hot summer, which we thoroughly loved. Well,
and
I did.
It's been a bit rainy.
Yeah, the last few days have been a bit rainy, so it's starting to cool down a little bit now. We've had weeks and weeks
hopping into autumn.
We've had weeks and weeks of over 30,
degrees.
35, 40 degree days, so quite hot, which is great for swimming and
for just going into a pool and laying down in it tonight or something.
So I've really enjoyed the summer. I think most people are a bit over it now, but I feel like it's, you know, the last few years we haven't had a super hot summer, so I've kind of really enjoyed it. But yeah, coming into autumn, which is my favourite season, and I don't know, we don't really have any plans, but yours is winter. Why is that?
Not just because it's my birthday in there, it's because sometimes you can go out and you can get a cool breeze in your face.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yes, I love the cool breeze on my face.
Anyway, we'll say bye for now, and we'll definitely be back on schedule now. So we will be back at the end of March to give you an update.
Hope you don't get a cold.
Oh, who knows? But anyway, thanks for watching.
Wait, if she does, can I do the whole video by myself?
Oh my gosh, okay, we'll see. We hope you have a great stitching month also, and we'll see you again at the end of March. Bye.
Bye, people.